lot of students wouldn't be at the game. I thought really good crowd. Good performance by our guys in a lot of ways. Didn't like the turnovers. We were very careless with the football. That was a major issue. We've got to improve that immensely if we want to have any chance of winning next week's game. You know, we only lost one fumble, but we put the ball on the ground 4 times. That's ridiculous. And so I'm really kind of pissed off about that. I thought our defense played good. I thought our defense played really sound and found ways to get stops, maybe in some situations that weren't ideal. But proud of the defensive effort. Offense has got to play better. We got to protect the football better and capitalize and score. You know, I was also really proud of Patrick Durkin's response. Came out, you know, didn't really kind of mishit the one. It was a long one, and then went back out there. I think he hit a 52-yarder, I believe. So that was really cool to see his response. But created another opportunity for our guys to play a home conference championship, which is awesome, and I'm very proud of what we've done. I think going back to October 30th when we lost to UTSA, our football team's response has been nothing less than ideal. I think the guys have just really picked themselves up, gone back to work, found ways to improve. We got to get better this week or we won't win next week because the team we're getting ready to play, I think, is dynamic and they're a real problem. So with that, we'll open it up.
First shutout for the defense since last year. That's it's got to be. You've already talked about how great they played in this game. Could you? What do you attribute that shutout to for this game?
Yeah, I guess the last shutout was what, Navy, game 11 last year. I think limiting explosive plays, controlling the line of scrimmage, getting them off schedule. Those are kind of the main things. You know, the defense got put in a bad spot on the one after the one turnover, and they bowed their neck. It made them kick at a field goal, and they missed the field goal, which was huge. Actually, should have been probably a false start. The kicker was early. He would move before the snap came, but either way, getting the shots. Anytime you do that, that's special. That's really, really hard to do in college football.
Coach, here in the back, 150 rushing yards of your 463 total. Can you just kind of speak to that, to the success of that?
Yeah, we ran the ball effective at times. I thought we probably could have blocked a couple things cleaner at the point of attack. We had a holding call, bring back a pretty significant run, too, that was frustrating. With that much yardage, you have 463 yards. We should have scored more than 27 points, ideally. That wasn't where we needed to be on the scoreboard in regards to that. But I thought offensively we moved the ball. We controlled most of the game. We turned it over too much. We can't do that. That was frustrating. But yardage was good. Run game was good. Got to score touchdowns more.
And I see Chris Rogers just walked in. So a guy like him helping lead that defense, can you just kind of speak to him in that?
Yeah, I'll say this, man. Chris Rogers, when he arrives on contact, it's usually pretty sudden and pretty violent. When you see him tackle the ball carrier, it's the type of hits that like takes your breath away sometimes. He's played really good football, you know. With Dixon out and Sam's been kind of limited in some games, Chris is he's always been a good player, but he's emerged and he's elevated his game. He's continued to improve in so many ways of how he's playing the game. I'm so proud of him.
Turnovers really haven't been a problem for you this year, other than the UTSA game. You hadn't had more than one in any game. Anything you can attribute that to, particularly?
Yeah, I don't really know. I thought about it. I took the pads off the guys a little bit midway through practice, and on the headset, I'm telling the offensive staff, like, maybe we should just go full pads all the time and hit, but I don't want to do that because then you beat your guys up. And so, I don't know. I just thought we were loose with it a lot. Like, I watched it, and I was very frustrated with the way we did not put the ball away the right way. And I don't know. There's a lot of things about that. It wasn't just one guy either. That's what bothered me. Is on the headset multiple times, even when we didn't fumble, I'm like, that ball looks loose to me. It's not high and tight. And we got to coach that better. That's on us. That's on me.
And who came up with the idea for the walk-on kickoff unit in the first
that?
half?
Yeah, that was kind of fun. That was maybe the coolest part of so we called that group the Demon Squad, okay? And it was all 10 walk-ons out there with Dirk. You saw Jackson Judge, not Joe Judge, but Jackson Judge, number 22, our quarterback from Jacksonville, Florida. You saw a bunch of guys out there. I think Zach Billings, one of our long snappers that transferred here from UNC Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
We put 10. That was a cool deal. That's Coach Galante's idea. Coach Galante and Coach Mack. Coach McMahon did it. He told me, like, Greg McMahon did it, like, I don't know, in the early 2000s when he was coaching at Illinois. He told us that idea a couple weeks ago, and we're like, all right, we're going to do it one game. Why not? And so we thought if we're kicking touchbacks, let's put them out there. It's kind of fun. You could tell our sideline energy was pretty hyped for that.
Were you kind of disappointed one of the kicks didn't go into the end zone? Would you have liked to wish they kind of returned it to see what your guys could do, or were you okay with
I wanted all of those kicks to go out of the end zone. I did not want any of those to get returned. If any of those had gotten returned,
Yeah.
it probably wouldn't have probably been ideal for us.
And I got to ask, coaching future, stuff like that, any comment on that tonight?
Not really. I want tonight to be about this team. You know, I'll talk to David Harris a little bit tonight, and then my wife and I'll talk in the morning. And you know, any opportunities I ever have, it's really got a lot to do with so many other people other than myself. I love this place. I love Tulane. You know, I don't love the calendar that we have right now. Like, this is kind of a goofy model. I think you heard Coach Saban talking about it a couple weeks ago on game day. The fact that, you know, these things happen. The NFL, like, they play their season, and at the end of the season, like, coaches and players have movement, and they do OTAs and mini camp, and you know what they do? They play another season, and at the end of the season, you have movement. Well, college football right now, our rules are so wonky with signing days next Wednesday, you know, other opportunities that present. You have to make decisions on right now, and it's like, I don't like any of it, the timing, but it is what it is. But I'd like for tonight to be about this football team. It's really my focus, and tomorrow morning I will wake up, and there's some things that have presented that I'll have to discuss and make a decision on.
I wanted to follow up on that real quick. Do you want to coach your team Friday?
Yeah, you know, going back to the calendar, I want to coach this team no matter what, because this, you know, this is this team. And, like, the goofy part of these opportunities that present these days, anything you entertain, you're entertaining for coaching a team next year, not this year. And so I don't like how it all lays out. But, yeah, like, I want to coach this team the rest of the – like, we're playing for a championship, which we are next year. I want to coach.
You talked about how much you love it here, the respect you have. It seems important to you to, whatever you're dealing with, to handle it the right way, what you're doing right now. I mean,
yeah, I mean, this place has given me and my family a lot. My oldest two kids were born here. All right, like, everybody on this team essentially, other than like a handful of guys, we've recruited, because the roster turnover, the world we live in, like this. I called up last night. I'm like, hey, who was here in 2021, or who was here in the Cotton Bowl? Like, last night at our hotel meetings, there's like 8 dudes, and some of them like they maybe hadn't played at all. And so I love these guys. I love what we're doing. I want to coach this thing out no matter what comes next.
Did I get any FaceTime? How's it going? So, first of all, could you just reflect maybe a little bit on what it means to you to be able to, you know, host a conference championship game, if it turns out to be maybe the last game you have here?
Well, it's anytime you get to play a championship game, it's special, and when you get to host it, that's like even a cherry on top. And so, you know, last year we played in this game. We had to go up to West Point, and you know, when you have a home site championship game like our league does, it's a lot better to play it at home than it is having to travel. And I'm excited for our guys to have that opportunity. I'll say this: next week, man, it needs to feel like the Duke game again in that stadium. Like, I'll never forget being in this stadium at Yeoman in the Duke game. Like, it was big time college football, man. It was like, you felt like it was as good of an environment as you're going to find anywhere in America. It needs to feel like that on next Friday night.
Well, you'll have all the students back then, so.
Yeah, they'll all be back, and they better be there at 8:00. They can. I was going to talk to President Fitz and see if we could cancel classes all day Friday, and let them just get absolutely hammered, and show up and bring a lot of chaos to the game.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that, Fitz, if you are.
For what it's worth, it was crazy here 3 years ago when they hosted. The other thing, you said you want to keep coaching as long as the season lasts, but how much does what you want dictate what's actually going to happen, both in terms of the administration here and the administration from any perspective?
Yeah, I'm not going to speak on that tonight. Like I want to coach this week. That's all I want to say. I want to coach this team next Friday night.
One more. Hey, Coach, I'll take the last one.
Yeah.
To that point.
That fits for you. Come on.
Thank you. And to that point, when you put a performance like this together, a shutout win in the season finale or the regular season finale, seemed as though you might have been a little emotional after the game as well, leading this team back to the conference championship game, but here at home with 60 new players. How much does that resonate with you?
It's so cool. We have 5 returning starters. And there's so many guys that stayed, but off of what we lost last year in the transfer portal, I mean, look, I'm not gonna sit here and whine and complain. It's the world we live in. But we lost our quarterback to Duke, our running back to Oregon, our tight end to Miami, a corner to Auburn, a D lineman to Wisconsin, a D lineman and an edge guy to Baylor. I'm missing more. There's guys all over America that started here last year, and we had over 50% of the roster change. And to be able to get that many new guys to connect, care about each other, believe in everything that we're asking them to do, and continue to find ways to win and fight through adversity, that's special. And this team has become like a family. It really is. And so I love this group. It's they're a fun group to be around. I'm emotional after every game just because I look around and football is different than say, I'm not knocking these sports, but basketball and baseball, you play 1 million games. Football, we get 12 games. And so every one of them you work your ass off for. And when you after you get done, you're drained. I'm drained right now because you give so much into the team and the game, and you see the guys celebrate a win. It means a lot because the work they've put in to get the reward. Good. All right. Thank you all. Roll wave.